Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome back to some more Star Citizen. Now, probably going to be one of the biggest couple of weeks we're all going to have in the next, well actually it's only a week now, so it's come around very quick. It's been announced that the dogfighting module is going to be going live on the 29th, so that's something to look forward to. We've been told that the single player, which is the Free Flight and the Vandal Swarm, will be available to all backers on that day. And actually, I did a bit of digging. Actually, I found on another forum, which is on the RSI site, they stated there that the multiplayer access to the dogfighting will be based on the citizen's number, not the subscription status, amount pledged, or anything like that. That's not good for me, guys, because I'm miles in. If you guys are in maybe the top few hundreds or thousands, well, congratulations to you guys. And what I imagine that's going to be happening is once the sort of single player aspect is launched on the 29th, it's a good way to do it. The way I see it is that you put the single player module out, right? If a catastrophic bug comes up, right, you deal with that, because what you don't want to do is move into the multiplayer aspect of it, and then that goes wrong. It's easier to control like that. And I think the other reason they're doing that as well is because they're going for this cloud solution for the server hosting. On initial launch, they're not really going to know how many servers to allocate in particular areas, but how the cloud solution works, when one area becomes under load, they can activate another server in that area. What they'll probably do is they'll probably do a gradual release based on the citizen number. First of all, you know, it's going to distribute the load over the servers and they can see, you know, what areas they need to allocate more server resource to. And secondly, it gives them how much, you know, helps them identify if their actual main sort of, we called it the mothership server, is coping with the allocation for the matchmaking. A lot to look forward to. The reality is at least we are actually going to get a part of the game as such, which is the dogfighting module. You know, and I read a lot of comments actually on the forum and on our forum as well, where people say, oh yeah, we're actually going to get, you know, Star Citizen. And what you got to realise, guys, is this is not Star Citizens we're getting one module of the complete package. For me personally, Star Citizen, the game for me, is really the persistent universe. I know we're going to see different modules along the way, but for me, that's my end goal. That's the bit I want the most. But I've no doubt we've got a lot of individuals out there that are really sort of gunning for the dogfighting module. Well, I am as well, but you know, I'm more of a PvE person than I'm a PvP. Now, alongside that, actually, we've had another announcement as well. The RSI site was actually updated with all the new ship stats. Not just the new ship stats, but it was also updated with some new ships. And there's around about 10 new ships on there, 11. There's actually 11. Question mark by the images. Some of them have got the images completed, some of them haven't. From what I interpreted from all the ships, out of all of them, there was only one that really sort of jumped out at me. And what I mean by that is a sort of conflict of interest, you could say. I think the F8 Lightning, if you're not, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, the stats are very similar to the F7C Super Hornet. And it says that it's designed as the next generation super space superior fighter. And it's basically supposed to be good at attacking the Vandal and other ships. It's heavily gunned, basically. So the first thing I thought about that, thank God I didn't buy a Hornet, because I sort of felt, once I saw that, I felt like, oh, hang on a minute, there's actually a ship that's actually better than the Hornet. And I sort of looked through the stats, although it sort of says it's actually, you know, and rumours are going around that it's going to be, we think it could possibly be better than the Hornet, we don't really know. But there's a lot of factors you need to take in consideration. Now, I had a look at the stats. The length of the Hornet is 24, the F8 Lightning is 26, the beam is 21, we've got 24 on the Lightning. So there's not a massive amount of difference between that. Now on the height, I suppose you could say it's a fair bit. The height of the F7C is 5.3 meters and the F8 is 8. So far you're thinking, okay, the F8's slightly bigger. Now when you move down to the weight, the F8 is heavier, not by a significant amount. I mean, we're talking 18.5 over 25. Not a massive amount. So at the same time, this is the first thing I interpret by that first bit. Right, the F8's bigger, heavier, longer, and higher. So now you would expect and it sort of compensates that in the next part of the stats. Okay, so now it says the power plant size is 4 on the Hornet, it's 5 on the F8. Now, well, I sort of expect it to be bigger, and what I mean by that is it's heavier, it's higher, it's longer. So I don't see, by looking at it myself, I'm not looking at that and saying, oh look, that one's got a bigger power plant. I'm thinking, actually, that's having that one up on the power plant is just compensating for the weight, the height, the length, and so on. So at this point, I still really haven't identified which one of them are the best as such. I'm thinking that they're pretty even at the moment. Now you move down into sort of the maximum engine, the primary thruster. The F7's got 1 TR4. The F8 has got 2 TR4s. Now that is actually that is significant, because you would only, the way I see it, the stats increase are only around about 35%. You know, whether height, weight, higher than the F8, and having another tier 4 is a 50% increase. It's doubling the output. So that'd be interesting. But then I suppose you could bring into account, there's all sorts of things you can bring into account, but I suppose the next thing really, when you talk about the maneuver structures and you go, hang on a minute, the Hornet's got 8, the F8's got 12 tier 2s. So far, it does appear, doesn't it? I mean, it does look like the F8 Lightning is going to be pretty good as a dogfighter, guys. So I think out of all the new ships, really, this is the one that sort of jumped out at me. You know, not necessarily because I like the PvP aspect of it, because I see it actually being a really, really good ship. Now, moving on to the actual weaponry, we've got, on the F7, we've got 2 times class 1s, and on the F8 you got 4. How it works out with all the weapons is basically you get 1 extra gun on the F8, but 2 of your weapons are class 1s. You can see it all there, really. I mean, I don't think there's a massive amount in that side of it, but I think that what interests me the most is them 2 TR4s. So that's going to be interesting. Are we going to be able to purchase it in the game? What I mean by that is, are we actually going to pay actual cash for it? Is it going to come out, or is it going to be an in-game one that we have to get? I'll be very surprised if they actually make this ship available to buy for cash, because I think that a lot of the Hornet owners might go, hang on a minute, well, we all pledged for the Hornet, and now and it was supposed to be, you know, the best dogfighting ship in the universe as such, and now we've got this F8 Lightning that actually maybe it's better. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Now, I suppose the other way you've got to look at it, also, we've seen all the new stats which have been released, but them stats could still change. When we go into the game, whether it's dogfighting, persistent universe, there's going to be some imbalancement changes to them ships anyway. So what we're looking at here could possibly change, but for me, the F8 Lightning looks like a good dogfighter. That's something, if you like that and you've got flight sticks, then I'll keep an eye on that one if I was you, because I think that's going to be a fantastic ship. A lot of other ships have obviously been added as well. There's a few of them actually I'm quite interested in as well. I've been looking at, I say interested in, I don't know if they're actually going to come under sale or not, but as I say, there's a few ships there that interest me. Mainly the Hull C, that was quite interesting, even though it says smuggling. I wouldn't do smuggling, but the fact that it can carry 200 tons as a hauler, that's very appealing for me. So that was you know, an interesting one, and we've got a few others there that actually I found you know, relatively interesting, but I think we need to know a little bit more of information further on down the line. Now, the final thing today, guys, which has been updated on the RSI site, is the multiple organisation option. Now, as an organisation owner myself, I like the fact that people can be signed up to multiple organisations, and I can see that there's many reasons why you would implement that in the first place. I'll give you an example, right? Let's just say one of my friends sets up an organisation. There's 4 of them in it, right? And in this organisation, they just play on their own, you know, but at the same time, when their friends are not on the line, they still want to be a part of an organisation, maybe a bigger one, and they go to this other organisation and they can be a part of that as well. I can see that. I like that. I think it's a good idea. Otherwise, it's, you know, you're going to put yourself into a situation where you're in such a small organisation, you might end up leaving because you want to be with more people. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, I think you should have both options. Now, how it actually works is the organisation owners can actually set if they want their organisation to be, it has to be your primary organisation or not. So there's some things you can do around it. This is not the last alliteration we've seen on organization structures and implementation from RSI. We know that already. This is something like version 1 point whatever it is. So there's loads more to come further on down the line. And some of the updates that I'm really looking forward to as an organization, as an owner as well, is the organization hierarchical structure. The ability to better create a role, allocate an individual to it, and it to reflect that on the RSI site. And at the moment, we're quite limited on what we can actually do in that area. We have an available amount of slots, but it needs to be versatile enough for organizations maybe with 10 people, with 100, with 5,000, with 10,000. No matter what your organization size, the organization structure on the RSI site, which will be applied in the game, right, it needs to cater for all instances. And I think that's probably going to be one of the changes we're going to be seeing in the future. And also, it'd be probably the key one that I'm actually looking forward to the most out of everything. So, guys, rounding up, dogfighting next week. I can't wait. I've gone to the total extreme because I don't know if you guys know, my PC, which I record all my game footage and everything, is actually based at work. So I'm actually coming in to work for 2 days around them time to hopefully make some videos. You know, I'm going to play the dogfighting. I'll do the free flight, the Vandal Swarm, get a bit of a grasp of it, and then I'll upload some videos so you guys can have a look for maybe for the people that haven't backed, that are still thinking about it, that maybe want to take another look before they commit. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video today. Thanks for listening in, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.